take classes of MBA courses, but since now he has moved to Singapore, and so it's not possible physically to come here, but still he keeps interacting with our old alumni, and they still get a lot of guidance about, in fact, he is one of those leaders who is driving that what should be the direction of technology adoption at the corporate level. So all e-governance programs, you will see some of his contribution coming. So he's dealing with the highest level in our country for implementation of e-governance digital programs at our country as an industry representative and for his own company, that is SAP. And I have requested him not to go with any kind of a structured PPT oriented presentation. He will be giving you the detailed industry perspective that as a BTech graduate versus as MBA graduate, what are the expectations and how in next 2 years you should shape your journey so that you become more industry ready, and not only at India level but at the global level also. So with this, I am keeping this session open for discussions, and I request all of you to ask as many questions. You will not find any lively person than him, and it is our good fortunate that he is here. I request both of our CRs, please come forward and welcome Dr. Chanana with the bouquet. Both CRs, please come fast. Both CRs. Some of you can take picture. Thank you, sir. So now it's all between you and our students.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajan. I'm quite used to torturing students on this Zoom. So I'm quite used to 2003 to 2016. I have tortured more than 5,000 students. So quite experienced now. So live with me for the next 1 hour. Yeah? So otherwise, 13 years of experience. Right? Good, but thank you. I welcome you all. I believe this is your first day. Yes, and look, first day to see me. Sorry for that, but then I welcome you all to this institute. Indeed, an honor and a privilege for me to be talking to this bright, enthusiastic, looking into the eyes, full of hunger, full of uncertainty, full of apprehension. Hey, where have I landed? What will I do? How will it go? And all. Take it from me, everything will go well. Don't worry. Yeah. Few glasses of beer in the hospital, and you will be all done. Right? Don't worry. So, okay. So, just and in fact, I really appreciate the efforts on the part of IIT Roorkee to actually get the industry exposure on day one. Right? So that's very, very important. And this institute is actually a lighthouse of knowledge. I have had both the career sides, both working for the industry and in parallel contributing to academia. I can tell you, I have seen the transformative side of education, particularly in the area of management. I have seen that. I'm in touch with many of your seniors, and I have seen people from this institute evolve into very senior leaders, who are ethical, who are sensible, who know what is to be done. I think the point that I want to start with is, today you are laying the foundation for the rest of your life as you will join this course. Let me start by that, and I don't want to give you any kind of prescriptive ideas that you will feel that, oh, somebody came and told us. I just want to set you, give you an insight into the future as to when you come to us, what will you be expected to do on day one of your MBA institute entry, and what do we see as the opportunity that people miss out when they are doing this MBA course, and as a result, a lot of the effort comes from us to actually make you ready again, and in the process there is always a gap that gets created between the so-called successful manager and get to be successful manager. So that is where is the idea that I give you an exposure so that as you go forward into the course, you can work backwards and see, how it can help you so long as you are here for the next 2 years. Is that an okay objective of interaction? Okay. And how do you want me to proceed? This is your first day. I don't know whether you have friends, but I can be interactive. Let me complete my talk, and then we can be interactive. And you can ask me as many questions of as many types. No problem. Feel free. I am not a professor from IIT, so I will not see you again. So you can ask me anything, because I'm not going to give you marks, right? So don't worry. So my first point. See, you folks have come to the management. Start acquiring management domain at a very, very interesting stage. Very, very interesting stage. The world of business, and the world in general is changing. That everybody knows. Anybody will tell you that's a statement that you will hear every week. What I want to emphasize is the world is changing at an unprecedented pace. Now, what do I mean? Look at 2 years back. Had you heard of this term called generative AI? So, today, if those of you who are coming fresh from the colleges are writing your assignments using that, am I correct? Yeah. And teachers are worried. What has it led to? One is the technology side of generative AI, but today, the transformative potential that it is actually creating for industry and for life in general. Whether it's good, it's bad, we are still struggling to actually come to terms with that. But now I'll give you an example. For those of you who understand some basics of management, how will, when in a vendor payment situation, how will typically things happen 1.5 years back? You will give me an invoice for a payment. I will take that invoice, process it, send it to him for approval. He will approve, it will go to finance, and they will release the payment to the supplier. That is how it used to happen. Then we came out with systems. Those of you who are coming from Infosys, TCS, they will know. We came out with software. We will actually put this into the flow. That is, I receive an invoice and I will say okay, and then it straight away goes into the finance and payment is released. Today, how are we doing? None of us exist. The invoice is put in the system in a scanned copy. A machine learning algorithm checks the vendor rating, everything, and payment is released. What does it mean? What does it mean? And this is the way you will be entering as we talk about industry. As this is the world that you will be talking about. Now, this is at a company level. Talk about national level. Few years back, everybody used this word sustainability as something as good to have. We should have less emissions, we should have less waste, we should have more inclusive work culture, we should have that and we should have this, right? It was more of a good to have situation. Today, if you look at the European Union, if you have heard about this term called Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism or CBAM, what is it? That, hey guys, you are selling products to us at a cheaper cost from other countries to us, but you are emitting more harmful there. If you are emitting more, I will discount your price by the factor that you are actually emitting more there. My product is not green. So what's the use of me talking about green if you are not giving me a green product from your countries, right? Now what does it mean? Suddenly from the sustainability as a good to have thing, it became a necessity. Now if I have to work with the European Union, I necessarily have to report the carbon emissions at least in 6 sectors which have been mandated: steel, aluminium. Now that's the shift that is happening on technology, on the way you manage, on the people side. Now you must be thinking, oh, on day one, this is why are we being given such a frightening scenario? Oh, everything is changing. The lesson that I want to start with is the success for you when you become managers, when you come to industry, will not be how easily you navigate this change. Please hear me out carefully what I'm saying and note it down somewhere. If we meet 5 years from now, we will discuss this, right? Success for you will not be how you navigate this change. Success for you will be how you anticipate and drive this change. And that is what I want you guys on day one to take it into your mind that, look, change is going to happen. I will always be into this world which will change. Let me anticipate what is happening. Now, in the next 45 minutes that we interact, I will tell you how to anticipate. I will tell you how to anticipate. How do you do that? Now, that's one point that I wanted to understand. I wanted to make it clear. Second, if I'm not in this class, and anybody whom I'm meeting and I have attended as panelists for many CAT interviews that I have CAT MBA admission interviews, and I have heard very, very funny responses in those interviews. I don't want to recall there. You also would have given one or two of them, I know, but then that's okay. Many people, when they are on day one here, have a picture of the end job offer already on this board. You are looking at, as MBA, my primary objective is to get into that earning mode. Am I correct? Please don't feel anything. Please don't keep it in you. That's the right way. If you ask me, I also would have told you the same. Mind you, one thing that I can tell you with 100% surety, earning is only a byproduct of learning. Earning is only a byproduct of learning, and I'm not saying it because I'm talking to you and I'm supposed to give you some gyan, some theory, some distinct. Earning is only a byproduct of learning. The day you stop learning is the day you stop earning. So what do I mean? What do I mean? For you, what you have come today here is 2 years of effort and getting an MBA degree. And then I get into the industry, then I will see what's my next phase. Am I with you? I did my engineering, I did my graduation, here am I, in IIT Roorkee. Let me finish somehow this 2 years, all these courses. I will copy one assignment, copy this assignment, and get grades, and then we will see where do I get posted, where do I get a job in an insurance company, then I will become an insurance expert. If I become a retail company, I will become a retail. That's what you are thinking right now. Am I correct? Anybody with a difference, please stop me, because in my 20 years of experience with academia, very rare to find somebody who will say I will change things. Everybody says I will change myself according to, so it is okay. Please don't think that I am here to change you, to make you ready to change the system, right? So my point is, MBA is only a degree. Those of you who will understand Hindi or Urdu, they always say, and I can translate that later, कि डिग्रियां तो इल्म के खर्चों की रसीदें. That is, the degrees are only the receipts for the expenditure that you make on your education. इल्म तो इंसान के किरदार से चलता है. You build that character, and rest assured, take it from me, it will be simple for you. Education should reflect in your character. Education should not reflect on your marks, on your degree. obviously, the way we are structured an MBA degree. So the point that I'm trying to say, one, anticipate change. Second, get into a lifelong learning and unlearning mindset today. Today, not tomorrow. Today, get into a lifelong learning and unlearning mindset today. Here sitting in IIT Roorkee, rest assured, 10 years from now, you will remember that this was a good statement. Right now, you will say, hey, he's boring us. Which is okay. I'm okay with that, right? But then, this is something that you must. Every stage of your career, as you come to us, will require unlearning, relearning, unlearning, relearning, learning, again unlearning, relearning, and unlearning. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Now imagine, few years back, my shop floor workers in factories, how will they inspect? They will take a part as it comes from out of the machine. They will do a visual inspection, and if the part is okay, it will go back on the conveyor. Otherwise, it will be put in a bin for repurpose. That's it. Yeah. I was the person. Today, I am at risk. Machines do it. Machines do it themselves. The part is done, a visually inspection is done using machines and automatically sorted for quality good or quality bad, and depending on this. Now, if that be the case, look at me. I need to unlearn what I was doing. I need to relearn on a new skill. Otherwise, I'll be extinct as a category of jobs in my organization. And same thing will apply to you. Today, here they will teach you information systems. How do you design software? How do you actually manage? So nobody will tell you here in this institute, when you come to me in the industry and you ask for data, sir, can you give me this data? Nobody will tell you that I will turn you out in 2 minutes. That skill of navigating, into the system is far more critical for you guys. So I always divide the MBA into the why, what, and how. You will absolutely be delighted by the content that you will get here on the why and what. So what is economic order quantity? You will be on your fingertips because you have to write in the exam. But when you come to us, it will be the how that will be far more important. Ask your seniors how many of the management concepts they are applying in exactly the same form as the what that they have learned in industry. You will get very few people. Right? So that is the third thing that I want to highlight as the first introduction. Why and what is simple, how is something. Now let me ask you a question. My son works for Waymo, Google's self-driving car. He's an AI guy. So looking at me, I'm coming from technology. Obviously, when he was born, before we kept his name, we said he will get computer engineer. Right? That's what in India many parents do. Yeah. So people will not ask, hey, did you get a boy or a girl? So people will say, did you get an engineer or a doctor? So that's how many parents. So we will be. So he works for Waymo, the self-driving car. He is an AI guy. He does the pedestrian behavior prediction algorithm. And I don't know how many of you are aware. In some countries like US, you can actually hire driverless cars now. In San Francisco, in Philadelphia, if you go, you can actually book on Uber. If you book, you may get a driverless car. Or if you have a Waymo app, you can get. So suddenly you find there is no driver, steering is moving, and you like it, it stops the way it is, and it takes you to the destination. The doors automatically get unlocked. So there is a very ghostly feeling that you get sitting inside. I've sat in that, and then people talked about
funnily in India, oh, India में चला के दिखाओ, फिर मैं देखता हूँ, गाड़ी यहाँ तो, rickshaw भी है, गाय भी है, और cows and all that stuff on the car. But I'll tell you what is happening after this. When you hear such things also, please take it with a pinch of salt. And the things that we can do in India, nobody can do anywhere. Nobody can do, and I will give you 1,000 examples today, because many of us get carried away by, oh, this cannot happen here. This cannot happen here because we don't have systems. We don't have. I will correct you today. So me and my son, we were in his Waymo, that a car, which is a Jaguar car that Google has tied up above, and Jaguar gives them the physical car, and Google then converts it into an autonomous vehicle, wherein with all the cameras and the radar and all that stuff, LiDAR and all that stuff. And so we were sitting, and then I have my younger son, who is like you, an MBA. Right? My elder son is a techie, and my younger son is an MBA. And I had a very interesting experience. Just last month when I went, in addition to them announcing, oh, this is my girlfriend, Meetan, this is my boyfriend, that's how typically parents go through at this age, which is okay. So we were in the car, and the car stopped at a red signal, there, maybe a foot before the stoplight. For us, we don't even notice. Yeah, do we? No, we don't. We will say it's good. Yeah, this techie in my son, he is doing like this, and then he's getting worried. The techie in my son, the elder one, is getting worried. I said, what happened? Why is it stopping before? This is a challenge. This is a problem. Let me report. I said, there must be an auto reporting. Yeah, it is there, but it will come to me only. So let me. And here is my other son. The so-called MBA like yours, right? And he is a business analyst in the e-health, the function of the Provincial Health Authority of Vancouver in Canada. He says, if Google continues like this, they will have a very serious problem with their business model. See the difference? Now he says, if it continues like this, one day there will be a big risk to them. And then he tells me, there was another vehicle company here called Cruise. Cruise was another vehicle, General Motors. They had some incident with an ambulance, right? And then he was telling me the whole story. He was least concerned, why did the car stop 6 inches before the stoplight? He was concerned with, how am I going to make this Waymo profitable? How am I going to make this Waymo run? How am I going to make this Waymo make money? How am I going to make Waymo expand to multiple locations? How is it going to happen that people will accept that? That's the reorientation I want you to start today. Those of you who have come from tech backgrounds and even non-tech backgrounds, stop thinking about how the software works. Start thinking about what it will do for your business. Change the focus today. Change the focus today. Those, and it will happen to you multiple times over 2 years. When the teachers will ask you to write term papers, assignments, because you have worked in Java or X or Y, in your companies, you will tend to carry forward that. Serious suggestion for all of you. That was good, that brought you here. That was good, that brought you here. Do something good, that will take you to the next step. And so long as in industry you are giving me what I am paying you, you are good. The day you come to the red zone, we may be the best friends, My job is not to be friends. My job is to run my company. My job is to run my company. I will say, good guys, let's meet day after tomorrow over here. And then he will hear some good news from me. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, start thinking today in a project mode on. Start thinking today in a project mode on what it will do for you, what's the impact, and not how it works. Leave it to techniques. Leave it to your old avatar. Yeah. So leave it to you need to be exposed to that. I'm not saying you need, but now you don't need to be an expert in that. You need to be an expert in business modeling. You need to be an expert in newer forms of organization. How many of you, as you have come today, understand the meaning of platform business? How many hotels does OYO own? How many cars does Uber owns or Ola owns? Very few. What they run, the newer form of model is what is the platform business. That is, I get the drivers from one side, I get the users from one side, provide a platform. I am Swiggy, you want food, I will get you a restaurant, and there will be a delivery. There will be a delivery. One side of this will be delivery partners, one side would be my restaurants, and one side would be I will give you initially free money. I'll give you initially free ride. Right? You come on to my. Who decides that I will give you free ride? You guys. Because I will teach you here that if you have to run this business, you need to accumulate a critical mass on this platform. On one side, that's called passengers. So once I have a critical mass on passengers, a demand will pull the other sides. Now who will decide that? Not the person who designed the platform. It will be you. It will be you. You need to reorient your thinking today about why am I doing what I am doing. Are you with me? Yes or no? Wherever you are bored, just raise your hand. I can share jokes also. Right? So that's the third point that I have. Now coming to the point that I hear so often from students across, and I'm associated with many IITs, many IIMs in India. The pessimism about the workability of solutions in India. When I say autonomous car, half of you would be thinking, no, not for this will not happen in India. At least not take next 20 years. Am I correct? Because for you, the prerequisite for autonomous cars to run on the road is you should have a clean road, a well-disciplined traffic, a well-laid out road, timed signals, everything should be perfect, people respecting each other, not in the manner the Delhi guys do, right? So when you meet somebody's car in Delhi, you can learn all the abuses in the list that you have, you can store them later, that when somebody hits me, hey, here is, I got, now take it, right? So that's what you can do. But many people think, now let me ask you a question. And not one, but multiple questions. Multiple questions. Tell me one more country which has captured 1.3 billion facial scans, retina scans, 10 fingerprint scans, and kept it securely.
China.
Is it? Do you know? In China? Do you know who said China? Do you know they have done? Is it public? Okay. Okay, let me rephrase. Other than India and China, who all have done? Exactly who has done. Now let me ask you another question. Which other country uses electronic voting machines for 99 crore voters and declares the election result in less than a day?
None.
India.
India. Only India, sir.
Which
India.
other country issues 6 crore passports every year, and the passport issuance time has been brought down to 2 days? Now you have, those of you who have got passports, recently. Moment you come out of your passport seva kendra, you have the SMS. Your passport has gone for printing, and then it is dispatched. 2 days, 3 days. Tell me, which other country has given 200 crore vaccine doses all online on the COVID platform? Which other country? 200 crore. Moment you get you remember your COVID vaccination? You remember your COVID vaccination? You got the COVID syringe, she took it out, asked you to go wait for 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the room, and on your DigiLocker, your vaccination certificate was available. Which country are we talking about?
India.
India. We are not talking about. In many countries, the so-called developed countries, we still have paper-based certificates. The COVID certificate today, any one of you carrying the printout? No. Everybody has it in DigiLocker. Right? Now, tell me, which other country registers all the companies in the country only online? No offline submission is allowed. India. You know how much is the saving that Indian people like you and me have made from the direct benefit transfer to the accounts using these fingerprints that I spoke about, the so-called Aadhaar linkage of accounts? You know, any guesses? What will be the extent of saving that we would have taken? Any guesses? You're on MBA day 1. Sorry? 10,000 crores. A bit higher than this? It's 1.78 lakh crores just by doing this in India. And mind you, in all these examples that I spoke, did I even use the word technology? I only use the word programs, initiatives, outcomes, management. Now, and whose responsibility is to convert programs into initiatives, into outcomes, is managers like you. Did I speak about passport application? No. What is so interesting in passport? The interesting part in passport is MBAs like you decided that the government's job is not to take passport applications. Their job is to approve or refuse passport application. So the processing of X application was given to many of your ex company called TCS. They set it up. Who designed this model? People like you. People like you designed the model. And then came the techie. Oh, okay, where is Lavnesh? Oh, I can see, his previous 3 passports should be visible, on this, and do it, and now it lost in 2 minutes. And then if you are not getting out in 45 minutes, my software should penalize TCS. That's what the tech is doing. But your focus now is what have I achieved and what have I gained. Are you with me? If you are not, please stop me. Yeah. So what I want basically on day 1 today, I want you to give me not 1, not 2, but 10 promises. Will you guys give me?
Yes, sir.
Those 10 promises. When you get married, there are 7, right? So you have to say, I will do this, and then there is 1 round. Then you say, I do this, and which you never do, right? So, and because you always give, I was supposed to do this, but here am I asking you for 10 such promises, and if it is too much, take it, but I want you to first let me read it as I note it down. Give me a promise that your learning will not finish at MBA. You will embrace a lifelong learning culture. Give me that promise. Yes. Yes. Otherwise, what happens in marriage? So, second promise is you will develop an attitude of innovating and challenging the status quo. Now it doesn't mean that you will oppose everybody and anybody. Hey, this is not rubbish. I know how to do it. You will learn the ways, but you will continuously innovate as you move forward. Continuously innovate as you move forward. You will always challenge, and it's not that you are doing something great to yourself by challenging the status quo. The environment needs you to challenge. The business needs you to challenge. Otherwise, you will be an extinct, species very soon. You're not needed. That's my second promise from you. The third promise, and which is very important today, and many of you would love that, you will always uphold integrity and ethics.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And let me, those of you who are thinking, oh, is it anytime possible? Last time when I was getting into the train, I did push somebody to get into the train. Is that ethical? Right? So, if that is troubling you, yeah. So, and I know in companies, if you have to grow politically also, your network also, and listen, is that ethical? So, if that is troubling you, then add this thing. You will be ethical to the extent possible, right? So, if you're feeling that it's too much of an ask on you, but my experience shows, if you are good in your domain, if you have a niche skill set, you can afford to be ethical and still good. If you are good, but then not everybody can be good in everything, right? That's where it is, right? Fourth, use this 2 years as the foundation for this. You will always foster collaboration and teamwork. You will always work with others. When you work with others, that's when you actually work. When you work alone, you only satisfy your own self that I have worked. Nobody acknowledges. You know, the best. Do I care? So long as you have worked with me and you and me have synergized our activities and actually done. Give me one example wherein you have been able to achieve everything alone. It's very difficult to think about. It's very, very difficult to find about. Now, that's the fourth, promise that I want. The fifth promise that I want is, I want you to be resilient and adaptable. What is the meaning of resilience and adaptability? You will be subjected to change every day. Every day. Don't give up. Don't give up. Things will be okay. Things will be okay. It's very easy for us, oh, my company always undergoes restructuring. Those of you who have come with when I want a bike, my father always says no, and then for the next 4 days, you are sitting in a room waiting for your mom to come. Hey, please, I will come to dad, don't worry. You will not be that now. You are MBAs. You will go find a way for yourself to ensure that your dad himself only comes and says, hey, you wanted a bike? This is the bike for you. That's the difference that I want. You will be resilient and adaptable, right? Adaptable means, why does your dad say no to your bike? He doesn't want to give you a bike. Doesn't he want to give you a bike? Doesn't he want to see his son on that Ducati or whatever, that Honda, and doesn't he want to see his son? He wants to. But still he doesn't give you. Why? Sorry?
There is no need of bike.
There is no need for bike. And why there is no need for bike? Because you haven't been able to prove the justification. And that is what you will learn in MBA. To create a business case for things that you want to happen. Why doesn't he like you to be on the bike? Why are you looking at me like this? Have you not asked your father and he has turned down? Yes or no? Okay, let's move to car. If bike is an issue, so long as you're earning, you're not earning. When you ask your dad for a car, how does he look at you? As if, are you getting out yourself or should I get a stick? Yeah. Have you not seen it, the look on his face? Yes or no? Yeah. Why does it happen?
Cost justification.
Cost, the fear of risk, that if you are driving a bike, you are riding a bike, 100% because Sharmaji's son fell down, he had a fracture, so you will also have a fracture. Yes or no? Whether you will have it or not, no questions asked. It's a foregone assumption and conclusion that because somebody else has had a fracture on a bike, you will have a fracture. Right? And then what happens? Then what happens? Your standard way of telling your father, "Arey, मैं ध्यान से चलाऊंगा ना. I will do it the right way. Don't worry." Does he listen to you? Does he listen to you? No. And then what happened? Then what happens? You use the emotional, card. Look, Mama, everybody in the college comes on a bike, except, and Mama is Mama. Yeah? Okay, don't worry. I will talk to your dad. And then you see both of them fighting. You know, every time I tell you to do something for the children, you always say no. He is now grown up. He needs this and he needs this. All you hear that, and you're very happy that somebody is pleading your case. Yes or no? Somebody is fighting for you, and the outcome is it is deferred to the next date, because when they are fighting, they never decide anything. It is deferred to the next date. Okay, I will see later. Let's for the time being, I have attended office work. Let me do that. हम इस पे कल बात करें. Come to the same situation in companies. You are going to CEO. Hey, I want to do this project. Give me money. He'll say, oh, yeah, pay for you. Say, hey, how much is the money you want? If he does that, very soon he'll not be the CEO. Am I correct? You will have to develop that resilience and adaptability that this MBA 2 years should give you that resilience and adaptability that the father should come and say, hey, you haven't asked for a bike. Why? Everybody is on bike. I even went to the showroom to check which is best. My friend's son has a showroom. I went. That is what you should aim at. Sounding too philosophical. Let's talk 2 years from now. Even then, if it sounds philosophical, then I will not come for your campus interview, right? So, but then, that's the next promise. And the next thing that I want you to give me a promise is, you will definitely leverage technology. There is no business today without technology. There is nothing called IT. There is nothing called information technology. Sorry. There is only one thing that's called business technology. There is nothing called information technology. IT is good. I'm not saying as a discipline it is going. It's only business technology. And let me qualify it. Promise is, you will use technology wisely. You will use technology wisely. What does it mean? What does it mean? When you don't need an iPhone, you will not buy it. That's what I'm saying. Because money is what will make the organizations go. You will justify, you will see what are the security risks, you will see everything, you will technology. The seventh promise that I want you to give me is, you will always, in your actions and industry, you will always prioritize sustainability. You will always prioritize sustainability. Take it from me, you will be seen differently. But that does not mean that you start. Our Lavnish came to IIT Roorkee. He told us, I have to promote sustainability. So I go to the canteen fellow, please remove all these tissue papers. I only want the reusable. Don't do that. Don't do that, right? It's easier. Direct impact creation is something. For that you need a very experienced and stature-based approach. At your stage, go slow. Stop using tissue papers. Stop using. That's what but tomorrow you should not say that my hands are dirty because lovely told me that no tissue is being done. Sorry. No, what I'm saying is you will think sustainability at least on this. The eighth promise that I want is these 2 years you will use to network and build relationships. Big requirement at least for IIT Roorkee. Big requirement for IIT Roorkee. At the cost of being critical, I'm saying this to you. Whosoever comes here, and look at me. Ever since it was announced that I'm coming here, I have received some 15 requests from LinkedIn requests from you guys. I've taken half a minute to accept those. Get into this networking mode now. But that does not mean that any speaker who comes, you are with him. Sir, can you make me this develop a realistic, because we from industry, with due respect, come with that X-ray and CT scanner. We can read through you. So when in the interview, when you bring your CV, don't think that you are that impressive as you are appearing on the CV. Normal discounting factor that we apply is 50%, right? So, okay, if he's saying the module lead, he must be a project team member or something. Yeah? So we have already applied the discounting. Don't think that you are smart, right? So, but be connected, be visible outside, and the next thing that I want to get a promise from you is you will strive to maintain a work-life balance. We haven't done that as generation. Your parents have not done that. Your professors have not done that. You will strive to maintain a work-life balance. Again, that doesn't mean 5:30 work-life balance. Lovely told us, right? So that doesn't mean that do that, but to the extent possible, you will find time for yourself. Very easy in India and in Asian countries to see people overworking for 16 hours, 17 hours a day, and then getting up every day morning thinking, oh, I have to do that also, There is no end. So you will strive to maintain work-life balance. And last promise that I want you to give me is you will always work to give back to the community. Your HOD is a classical example of that. Your HOD, current HOD is a classical example of that. You will always work and give back to the community. Now, why? Because it will give you that satisfaction about yourself. It will give you that satisfaction, and to be a good manager, you need to be a happy individual. That's very important. So these are the 10 promises that I have taken. Thank you very much. So I presume this institute will now turn out the best MBAs that one can think of from all angles: resilience, adaptability, technology usage, ethics, integrity, network collaboration. Everything is done. So you are now ready, right? So, but don't forget me, because first assignment submission and you would have forgotten what lovely score, right? So, but that will happen. That's not a problem. So, that is what I wanted to interact with you. I can end with the small poem. If you guys are okay, yeah, not my creation, but still let me read it so that you have. And actually, and since you have given me so many promises, it continues with that, and we can end with that. It says, as you embark on this journey new, with dreams so vast and the sky so blue, remember the promises that you have made today. Guide your steps all along the way. Embrace the learning. Let curiosity lead. In every challenge, please plant a seed. With integrity as your guiding star, in the world of business, you will go very far. With integrity creativity as your guiding star in the world of business, you will go very far. Innovate, create, dare to dream. Innovate, create, dare to dream. Let collaboration be your team. Let collaboration be your team. That's very, very important. Again and again I'm saying. Adopt and grow. Be resilient and strong. And in the face of change, take it from me, nothing can go wrong. Adopt and grow. Be resilient and strong. In the face of change, nothing can go wrong. Leverage technology. Leverage technology. Let it be your guide. With wisdom and insight that you get from technology by your side. Sustainability should be in every plan. Build a future as best as you can. Sustainability in every plan. Build a future as much as you can. Network, connect, and build new connections. With each new contact, your world will grow. With each new contact, your world will grow. Balance work and life with care. Enjoy, find joy and peace everywhere. Give back, mentor, and always be kind. A greater purpose you will always find. Give back, mentor, and always be kind. A greater purpose you will always find. With every step, and every mile, may success greet you with smile. May success greet you with smile. And then I'm ending. So here's to your journey, the path ahead. Let's celebrate this journey that you are starting today. Here's to the journey, the path ahead, with courage and hope. Let it be said. With courage and hope, let it be said. You are the leaders of tomorrow's light. Am I expecting too much? But it's okay. Yeah. So you are the leaders of tomorrow's light. Shine bright, the fresh MBA batch. Take this successful flight. Take this successful flight. Be very happy. By the way, I did write it. You know how I do it. Right? How? Yeah. So, but linking it to this, some part of creativity, I used it. I'm not a poet. I don't really. But thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate. I wish you all the best for the 2 years that you have. I'm happy to take any questions that you have now. I'm sure after all this, you are thinking whether I should raise my hand or keep quiet. But don't keep quiet. That's one thing that you should stop doing here. Raise your hand. Whatever is coming in your mind, throw it out. At least you'll go somewhat lighter from the road. Right? Happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, we just stop. Go ahead, Margaret. Yeah.
So this is a little bit different question. So considering that the market research output in China is way ahead of India.
Sorry, say that again.
The market research output. So considering that, like, what as a batch can we work upon? Like, I know that maybe not a lot of us, maybe at least a few of us might decide to pursue a PhD. So with that aspect, any considerations from your side?
If I have understood your question correctly, the question is, does research have a place in our career? That's what you're saying? After MBA, should I do a PhD? Yes. Okay. Can I take one more and then combine them?
Yes, sure.
Next question. Somebody is again.
So my question is from the first one that you made.
Sorry.
So my question is from the first one that you made that it is pretty much equal. So what are the tools that you can suggest us that we could actually use?
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. Very good question. Very good question. Anybody else? Says कोई नहीं पूछा मैं please. Sorry, say that again.
Since you said that we should build network and relationship,
Yeah.
Hello. So since you said that we should build network and relationship, so can you suggest some good ways and how it can be done?
On the same note,
Three.
same note, yeah. So generally, I'm a very social person. I talk to anybody on the road, anywhere on the road, but I'm not a very screen-oriented person. I try to
Not a very.
a mobile or phone or a social media person. Social person, not a social media person. So I find making connections on LinkedIn very strange.
Very strange.
Yes, making
Why should you
posts.
connect on LinkedIn? Yeah.
Yeah, even making posts on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I try to reduce my screen time as much as possible.
Okay.
I try to post as less as possible on all social media platforms. So,
Okay.
is there any alternative to LinkedIn?
Okay. Microsoft will kill me. but okay. Okay, let me go by the 4 questions and then I can take one more lot and then we can stop. Your question. PhD is good or bad? Right? That's your question. Research. PhD is a degree. PhD is a process of finding something new. Right? Research is whether it leads to PhD or not is good. So in every part of your work, there will be an element of research involved. As managers, you cannot survive without research. Without research. Example. You book your railway ticket. What do? You go to IRCTC, do this. What you and me have entered now into is a transaction. That happens at the bottommost level in the organization. You pay money, you are given a sheet and a ticket receipt, which is your ticket confirmation. Go one level up in the organization. The catering manager for Shatabdi. He has to load food packets in Shatabdi today. How will he load? He will find out how many people are traveling in today, and how will he do that? He will total all the tickets that have been booked for this day in this train, either manually or automated way, and then he has a model for analysis that if X is the number of people traveling, I will add 10% to that, X plus 10% to the number of food packets that I will be owning, right? Some element of data crunching and research. Then comes one level up. The general manager of railway board is running a Shatabdi between Delhi to Roorkee, profitable or not. How does he do it? He also does a research. What is the research? If my average occupancy of Delhi, Dehradun Shatabdi is more than 50%, I am recovering my cost. So what does he do? For the last 6 months, he takes out data and finds out what is my average occupancy. And that comes to be less than 50%, let's say. I'm just taking hypothetical decision. He decides running a train between Delhi and Dehradun is not profitable. Go one level up. The CEO or the railway board and all, they have to now decide whether to continue running a train between Delhi and the Dehradun Shatabdi or not. They will not decide based on this research that okay, it's not profitable. They will also decide based on external research. How many other trains are running between Delhi and Roorkee? If I stop this train, am I cutting the connectivity between Delhi and Roorkee? What is the political repercussion of this? Will there be strikes? Will there be opposition? This thing? Will there be or can I do something to improve the occupancy? Can I reduce the cost? Can I do something? That is the research. So research will be in every job. PhD is your choice. PhD is your choice. You, as managers, you cannot run away from research. As managers, those managers who run away from research are not good managers. But not every manager goes for PhD. Not every manager goes, because PhD is more of a process of doing research and hence finding something new, for which you are considered to be a novel researcher and given a degree. Again, that's a degree. That's a degree, right? Does that answer? Okay. Now coming to your question on. Okay. So before coming to IIT Roorkee today, what all did you study about IIT Roorkee? Let me tell you, 80% of this class, you know what they have done the research on? Hostel कहाँ है? Hostel कैसा है? कहाँ पर है? Common sharing है? You know कितने लोग एक रूम में रहते हैं? Right? मेरा रूममेट कौन है? Because you are worried, you know कि ये तो इसकी तो मुझे शक्ल पसंद नहीं. So 80% of people have actually navigated this change in their career. Only 20% have done. Where does IIT Roorkee stand in terms of the alumni that you have come to? Where are my alumni? Where are they placed? Is there an alumni network? Have you gone and spoken to somebody before coming here? You know, and when you were being interviewed after CAT, what was your response? IIT Roorkee is good because ROI is very good. Because that's what coaching institute had taught you, isn't it? The ROI is very good. The fee versus the package that you get placement is very good. That's what the coaching institute does. And I get so surprised when I'm in these interviews and MBA candidates coming and telling me, because the ROI is so good, I want to come here. What about the learning? Yeah, I can learn anywhere. So then why Roorkee? You know, learn anywhere. You know, so that's the anticipation of change that I'm talking about. Does that answer? Now you see, you have to be proactively looking at not only an inside-out approach to work, which 80% of you have done. What is inside out? How am I going to stay in Roorkee? Nobody has done the research on how is Roorkee, staying in Roorkee, outside in, beneficial to me. Because we are not tuned to. We don't do this as that is what is anticipation, and that is the competitive differentiator that you picked up. Okay, let me ask you. You knew Lavnish is coming? You knew Lavnish is coming? How many of you did a research on what is this guy? 1, 2, 3. That answers your question. Does it answer? This is how you anticipate. You are meeting me. When I came, when I was teaching here, there was a typical practice of putting the photographs of all the batch on the notice board. Oh, here is Lavnish, he has 4 years of work, let's say, in Infosys, this and this. I thought, I'm going and talking to these guys, let me first go and see the batch profile. Unfortunately, it was not because you were day one, right? That's what I did. Does that answer? As to whom am I talking to? Many students in my class, fresh commerce graduates, and I'm talking about AI. I know ledger, I know financial accounting, I know business management, business software engineering. But then, because in India, how are we programmed? Moment I make an eye contact with you, what do? That's my programming. Yeah. Moment I make an eye contact, that's what. Yeah. Whatever you are saying is right, because you are here, you are this side, we are this side. For 2 years, I have to do this. Yeah. And then maybe when we meet later, I will tell you, I did agree to 1 or 2 of your statements. And that was you don't do that. So outside in part is something that you need to develop, and that will give you the anticipation. To your point on networking, what was the question? You have already built a network today. Have you not? Have you not? You have already built a network today. You know, mail contacts. 50 mails without response. 51st will be responded. You know, it's common. 50 mails without response. And the challenge, you know, is stop doing all that your predecessor batches have been doing. You are a true industry professional, sir. Can I talk to you and get some guidance? Come to the content, come to the specific, come to straight away. Don't give any preambles in networking. Doesn't work. Hostel में करते हो? साथ वाले सब. भाई तुझे भूख लगी है? तुझे भूख लगी है? पूछ लो. अबे चलेगा खाना खाने? That's the question that you ask. Do you ask? You know, now when you are doing networking, you should not ask, oh, you are the greatest light of the world that I have ever seen. That I know. That I am not. Right? So stop doing that. Stop setting the preambles. Come to the content-based networking and not relationship-based networking. Does that answer? Come to content-based networking and not content-based networking is always longer term. Relationship-based networking is always shorter. Is always shorter. अब बात करो ना आपके इंजीनियरिंग में कितने लोग आपके फ्रेंड्स हैं अभी? कॉलेज के कितने लोग आपसे टच में हैं? नहीं है, बिकॉज वो रिलेशनशिप-बेस्ड नेटवर्किंग थी. ये भी नहीं रहेंगे. तो ये भी रिलेशनशिप-बेस्ड नेटवर्किंग है. 2 साल के बाद ये सब जब नौकरियां लग जाएंगी, जॉब लग जाएगी, ये भी नहीं आपसे बात करेंगे. बट इफ यू हैव अ कंटेंट बेस्ड रिलेशनशिप, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल पे आपने और इन्होंने एक पेपर लिखा था और दोनों की जॉब इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल में लग जाती है, देन यू सी द रिलेशनशिप. आर यू विद मी? सो रिलेशनशिप दैट आर बिल्ट ऑन कंटेंट आर द रिलेशनशिप दैट सर्वाइव, आर द रिलेशनशिप दैट ग्रो, आर द रिलेशनशिप दैट फॉस्टर. Relationship that are based on you know just relationship. Hello, because I am lovely, so you have to be cut. I will also not say no to you, but I will also not say yes to you. Very simple. Does that answer? Yeah. Okay. Now to the final point that you asked, that I am a social person, but not a socially connected person on digital media. That's what you said. So, absolutely no requirement for you to be on social media, right? But the short answer to your question is, you cannot run faster than the ship you are traveling in. If the whole world is using social media, you are on that ship. You are on that ship. Try running faster. You will not be. Because ship का अपना speed है, ये सब social media पे. So in that case, I can, and this is a common mistake that many of us make, thinking that I can maintain an individuality of my own and people will respect me for that. It will happen when you gain a stature. It will happen one day when you gain a stature. But till the time, keep both the options gradually going parallelly. Don't spend too much on your time on that, but get connected on it, because that's the way they want you to get connected. Because that's not the way you want to get connected. That's the way they want you to get connected. If there are 12,000 people on LinkedIn, I never went to anybody that please be my friend. No network request. Very few. You know. But if that's the way people want, and you can the other question that people ask me related to your question is the effectiveness of social media connectivity. Because on social media everything is good. You know, yeah. Have you seen a husband and a wife fighting on social media? Never. You know, they never fight. For everything is good, right? So that effectiveness is there. As you grow mature in that, you actually start discounting that. So there's a difference between being social and being connected. The answer to your question: while you may be social, you can talk to anybody on the road. That does not mean you are connected. So talk to me from here to. It has happened to me whenever I have come to Roorkee to teach. The way I used to come is, I will take the Shatabdi, morning Shatabdi from Delhi to Roorkee, come here, take a 5-hour lecture, and then go back the same train in the evening. Invariably, my experience is the person on the next seat, at best, he or she can wait is 5 minutes before, are you going to Roorkee? Because they want to strike a conversation. Because they don't want you to look at, they are very social people. They want to talk. But that doesn't mean I am connected to him. He is with me only for those 3 hours, and depending on, like, let's say if I have to prep for my presentation to the class, I will only hear him. I will not listen to him. I will be on my laptop. I will be on my phone. I will be hearing him. Oh yeah, yeah, very good, very good. My son is this and that. Yeah, very good. But I am thinking, is this case study okay for the students today? And he's telling me what great things his children have done. I have no kind of. So being social is one thing. Being connected is one thing. Connections happen through content. Connections happen through content. Connections don't happen through relationship. You will forget me by next Monday, whatever I have spoken, because it has only relationship. You will only remember part of it, what I spoke in terms of content. Does it answer?
Yes.
I'm sorry if it is not, as the answer is not as per your expectation, but that's the answer, right? So, okay. Anybody else? One more question.
How should we approach a change in the particular system that we are working in?
Sorry?
So how should we approach a change in the system that we are working in? Because usually all of us are not good that things are like how is it we approach change?
Is it? Wait, wait. Can I answer this? Good question for all of you. Why did you come to MBA? You brought a change in yourself. चल रहा था ना? चल रहा था. चल. The way to bring a change is to create a necessity for that. Moment you create a necessity for that, things will automatically fall in line. You created a necessity for you that enough of my BTech, BCom and graduation, I will do an MBA. You created it and then things change. You never thought that one day, because of this change that you are bringing, you will end up in Roorkee. Did you think before making a change? No. None of you thought it. Right? So all of you were thinking 100% है तो मेरा पक्का है. Yes or no? Correct? तो मेरा आ ही जाएगा. मुझे एलन ने पढ़ाया, मुझे all time जो भी है. So when you create a necessity for the change, and how do you create a necessity for change? By justification. And how do you get the justification? Justification through research. Where do you get the research tools from in your MBA? Answer the question. Yeah, please.
Some part of the question actually was answered, but I want to ask, like you mentioned, sustainability will be a very integral part. So, as you know, corporates who are interested more in profit and industries where remuneration is not there for being sustainable, how do we invite this
Fantastic.
change?
Very good question.
Things are
Very
not,
good question, and this will answer your question also.
how things are not symbolic, sir.
So his question is, why would a corporate change for sustainability? Their objective is profit. Their objective is not social. Are you correct? This is what you are saying? Yeah. Anybody with an answer to this? Otherwise I'll give you the answer and you will be so happy with that. 1, 2. You want to give? You are from the same batch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But why are you sitting behind the laptop hiding?
Oh, sir, I'm handling the.
You don't want me to see it?
No, it's not that case. Companies are moving towards.
Can somebody give him the mic? Very good question. Sorry
No,
if it is stretching a bit. Can we stop? Up to you. आपके पास अभी तो कोई काम नहीं होगा. बड़ा बाहर से लग Sorry. मैंने देखा है बहुत ही खराब. Okay, go ahead.
So companies are moving towards sustainability because it's more environmentally friendly. And for example, company in USA, Patagonia, is using sustainability as a brand strength, and they're building brand value through this reusability and reusing their raw materials and bringing more customers in, because this generation is more environmentally friendly, and they are facing climate change as and when they're growing up. So they are connecting with their customers and growing their customer base as well. So profitability and sustainability are the two faces of the same coin.
Good last statement. I was a bit getting confused in your when you were speaking, but profitability and sustainability are the two sides of the same coin. Anybody else? One by one. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir. So primarily, so primarily sustainability, why do we focus upon it, is because if there is no future which we are working towards, obviously the company will incur more costs. So it's better to prevent a future where it is more dystopian and where we are limited by resources now rather than work on it later.
So, you want to say, please.
One reason is that government policies are also very
So, are you also?
Pass it.
Okay. So, why would corporates go for sustainability? That's the question.
just I also mentioned that if there is no remuneration to them.
I'm coming to it. I've heard you. Okay. So, sustainability, so long as it remains a brand narrative, right? That these kinds of questions will continue to get asked. Moment sustainability becomes a business narrative, everybody wants to run. Now, I'll give you an example. When you have to reduce your carbon emissions by modifying your packaging, right? You want to do a recyclable packaging, and that leads to process innovation, and that leads to cost reduction. That is when the sustainability will become integrated. Now look at us as a company, and SAP. What are we saying? We are saying you do the financial ledger, financial accounting. Create something what is called the green ledger. Create something, get the data transparency as to where am I creating the maximum damage to the environment. And once I reduce this, how much is the impact on my financial thing? So that's one. That is now happening big way, and companies are now realizing sustainability is not something that is just good to be. It has a business imperative in terms of increased revenue, in terms of decreased cost, and hence increased profits. Now, second, because corporates have not done it, and governments also have not done it, now there is a pressure coming in from investors, there is a pressure coming in from regulators, there is a pressure coming in even from employees and from customers. So the market ecosystem is also forcing corporates to do something, even if it means a namesake, right? But the larger value of sustainability lies in how much it contributes to my business, whether in terms of top line or bottom line. I can reduce cost through business model innovation. And how will I do that? How will I do that? Now, I'll give you an example. How will I do that? Today, if sustainability was my focus, I shouldn't have come here. It should have been a virtual session. All the emissions from the vehicle that brought me from Delhi to this thing would have been saved. We could have interacted virtually. I could have come on the screen and done this virtual session with you, right? And that would also have helped IIT Roorkee to actually cut cost of that travel that they incurred. And as a result, that cost of travel could have been put somewhere else. The motive is, let's not pollute the environment, but in the end, what is getting saved is money. Are you with me? It's a very, 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 very elementary example that I gave you. Why should Lavnish come all the way to Roorkee? Why? Some may justify. Sir, in-person interaction से अच्छी कोई चीज नहीं. अच्छी कोई चीज नहीं. Now that depends on then the company. If I have my cost reduction on, I will say thank you. Please don't travel. Please don't travel. When in companies today, how we do it? When you want to travel, you say I want to travel from Delhi to Bangalore. It tells you this is your carbon emission. Do you still want to travel, or you can do it virtually? If 10% of people say I can do virtually, I have saved that much of cost. That is the imperative that people will talk about when they talk about sustainability. Sustainability initiatives are as much business projects as other initiatives. Third, your suppliers. because everything you cannot be doing yourself, right? Your supplier is actually sending goods to you by auto in that odd tempo in that lots 500 things come to your this thing. So what do? I don't want this travel to happen. What do? Using technology, you implement what is called just in time. Get me only 2 which I need here, right? Don't bring 500. One, it takes space of saving. Second, it adds to the travel cost. Third, it just get stationed near me and do this. Many auto companies have done this, and that leads to what? The cost of inventory gets reduced significantly, and that is the imperative. That's sustainability. Does that answer? And I can give you 1,000 more opportunities. That sustainability is just not a good to be, but a business potential that can be harnessed using sustainability. Any other question? One more.
How we can start like when the revenue will be getting in a how we can using public policy is
Sorry?
in public policy will be not used.
You have to repeat. I only heard the word public policy.
Yes, so the running that will be running in the MBA. How we can apply those in public policy?
Oh, okay. So for that you have to come to Lavnish, right? So I handle public policy for Asia Pacific and Japan. I handle 22 countries across.
How we can start?
So okay, let me ask you. How many of you know about AI, artificial intelligence? कोई बात नहीं भैया सारा 2 साल आपने ऐसे हाथ ही खड़े करने यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं और कुछ नहीं करना सब टीचर पूछते रहे कि आप हाँ सर How many of you know how many countries have AI laws? Laws on AI. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What the answer? Because okay, you raise the hand, please raise it again. Which country has it? European Union is the first one globally to come out with an AI law saying that I will regulate, I will categorize the artificial intelligence into medium risk, high risk, low risk systems, right? And if you are working with the European companies abroad, you are in your business in India, you are likely to get impacted. So the awareness about the ecosystem is in addition to the subject on AI that will be taught. Unfortunately, whichever board of studies I am, in any of the universities, I have always been advocating that MBAs should be taught public policy course, because this ecosystem that is changing. I just did a research. I chair the European Chambers Digital Committee in Singapore, where I am based out of. Right now, Telstra as a company with MIT Technology Review launched a research report, and as a digital economy chair, I actually did the moderation for that. They did a survey of 300 CXOs on AI. 78% said in deploying AI for performance improvement, regulatory compliance is my biggest challenge. Now, if I ask you, you just heard in terms of regulatory and policy issues, only 4 out of the whole class knew, whereas everybody knew about AI. Let me again put another question. How many of you know about data privacy? What is that? Protect the data. What is the difference between data privacy and data protection? So the point is, it's always good to look at the policy area. In this case, we are talking about tech policy area, and which government arm is responsible for tech policy in India. It's the Ministry of Electronics and IT. Go to their website, do a search on what, India has gone ahead and said that, our approach to AI is AI for all. It will be inclusive. we will do this, right? Now, how many of you know what does AI in India means? So when you go to these sites, the policy and regulator side, you will come to see the strategic approach that India is taking, and that's an evening part-time work for 1 hour every week that each one of you should do. 1 hour, I'm not saying much more than that. Just go to these sites as to, hey, what's happening on World Bank, what's happening on EU, what's happening on Indian Ministry of Electronics, what's happening on the autonomous car guidelines. Do you know, tomorrow, when I was talking about autonomous, nobody asked me a question. If an autonomous car hits an individual, who is responsible? Tell me. There is no driver. In the Indian Motor Vehicle Act, whose liability is this? The person who's driving? His driving license. If you are driving, you are responsible. Right? In that case, who's responsible? Which company? Jaguar? Nobody asked me this question. That's the policy and regulation angle. And if you do a search on the German government's guidelines on autonomous vehicles, do a Google search after this webinar. It goes to the extent of saying, if an autonomous car is left with no option but to hit a human, it should not distinguish that human on the basis of gender, age, color of skin, etc. etc. It should take the least path. Now, what does it mean for you as a company? And what does it mean for you as an MBA student? Whatever you are designing is now open for scrutiny. Open for scrutiny. That is what. So, if you are aware and exposed to these policy ecosystem guidelines, that is what it helps you. And mind you, I just mentioned about content-based relationship. Policy contents gives you the best opportunity to be in content-based relationship, because everybody is worried. If the Indian Motor Vehicle Act changes, my 6 cars in the home all get impacted. My wife will say, hey, where is my pollution control certificate? She will not go and check her. So it's something on me, right? My son will say, oh, I thought I'm in US. Does it apply to me? So he will start saying this. When it starts impacting you, then people want, oh, can you tell me what is it? Then people want a relationship with you, and that goes along. There is a word that we always use in corporate, that's called WIFM. WIFIM. The full form is, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? The moment you answer that, rest all is simple. Does it answer? And I'll take one last question, and then I can see down face that when we will stop the bar. We have to go for lunch. Yeah. Okay. Last question.
Hello, sir. My name is Nikhil Yadav. I had a question regarding the growing sustainability. So, if I go with an example, I once ordered a print from Blinkit. The print came in a paper bag with 3 other prints, and the last one was the print I ordered. So, in the times when we are so comfort oriented and we want everything in our bag, like Zomato, instant delivery system, is it possible to grow sustainability when we ourselves want everything in our hand?
Sorry, what was your name?
Nikhil Yadav, sir.
Nikhil, I'll answer your question. As MBA, you will stop asking now, is it possible? You will stop asking. Was it possible in India that a sabji wala, a vendor on the road, and a beggar on the street will take Paytm? Was it possible? Hear me out. Let me complete. Yeah. Was it possible? Did you ever think temples, QR codes? Was it possible? No. So as MBAs, the first thing that you should stop saying, is it possible? It will be possible. It will be. Today, we are at a stage where, because of lack of enforcement, because of lack of demand from Nikhil, lack of demand from me, the companies are not focusing on this, right? Sooner than later, once it becomes a movement and that will be before you graduate from here. I'll tell you, you know, it will happen. Before you graduate from here, it will happen, right? You know, everybody will change. Your own parents will tell you, hey, don't do this, because then it becomes a mass movement. Today, you know, tell me, you know, did we ever think that we will be opening 32 crore bank accounts in 4 months in India? Never. Did we ever think that in a country with 140 crore population in COVID, we will be able to manage the vaccination? Was it possible? The first answer from a layman would have been no. Everybody was saying, you remember when COVID happened? Everybody was saying maximum casualties will be in India because we are such a large company and our health infrastructure is so poor. That's what people were saying. Was it possible? That time, somebody would have stood up in a class like this and said, no, it's not possible. What happened? You also saw. You also saw. My wife happens to be a doctor in charge in Delhi, right? The public health system. She had to go house to house to give oxygen concentrator to people. That's what India did. They put systems in place wherein the medical professionals were then asked to go and who gave the oxygen concentrators? Did the government procure? No. It was sourced from companies. Donate. Who evolved this innovative model? Managers like you. Was it possible? No. Did it become possible? Yes. So it's only a matter of time, right? And the need. So once that is established, you will see, Nikhil, things improve faster than you can. Does it answer? Great. Okay, last. After this, no more question. I have to go back.
Sir, adding to the sustainability.
I have my day job also. It's working here. Okay.
Sir, adding to the sustainability point. Sir, Elon Musk recently said that he is building, and many other companies are also building like the spaceship and space rocket that can travel back to Earth. Sir, but in this process, the rocket to the space will also increase, and which will like the waste quantity around the Earth will also increase in this process. So, sir, will this affect also going to affect Earth like surroundings and all, which will harm us like in meteorite form and
This is not a question that you should ask me. You should ask an environmental scientist as to how will the space junk impact Earth's environment.
so, sir, if it's going to be sustainable, then it's not going to be like this in my perspective.
So how sorry, what's your name?
Akshay Kumar.
Akshay, how does change happen? So change happens two ways. One, proactively, the way I am taking promises from you, which you have almost half year. Second, things come to a stage where these are being questioned, right? In most of the sectors and most of the things are allowed to come to a threshold, and then those start getting questioned. So I think what you are referring to, while I am not an expert in that, is when it comes to this level, you know, and the company that you mentioned is known for, you know, attracting the attention for people, right? So, you know, if it comes to that stage, all of us will then stand up and say, no, we don't want that, right? People will write, people will bring it in the and the power of communication in all these things is, and you should always communicate and collaborate. The problem with us in India, at least in academic world, is we don't communicate. क्योंकि हमको सिखाया गया है, आपने नोट्स लिख लिए, रख लो अपने पास, देने नहीं है, क्योंकि इनके मार्क्स आ गए तो हमको सिखाया गया है, साथ वाले को नहीं देने. That's what we have been brought up with, right? So communicate in the company, and then you will see and publicity, good or bad, is good. Publicity, good or not, tomorrow don't go and hit a person outside. Oh, bad publicity, lovely, good, that it is good. Not that way. So publicity, good or bad, even if people don't agree to your statement, still people will remember you. Okay. Now, even if you don't like my link, but many of the provocative statements that I have made, you will remember. Yeah, that's the only point that will come. So publicity good or bad is good. So once that happens, it will get solved. Do I have a 100% convincing answer to you as to what can be done? No, but maybe one day I've never even thought about this till you raise this point. So I may not be the right person to answer. Maybe next time when we meet, we can have a discussion over a cup of coffee, not over beer. Yeah? So we will do this. Great. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Once again, they will have my mail ID. Just take it from them. In case for anything and everything, just shoot a mail to me. I may not do anything from morning to evening, but I do respond to my mails. Right? So I will be happy to help you from outside. Obviously, I was in India this week, so I could come and talk to you. Otherwise, it will be a difficult thing for me to come and meet you. Otherwise, I do want to see 2 years down the line, many of you coming to the industry and getting a chance to interact with you on the industry. Thank you very much. All the best. Have a nice time in IIT.